Welcome to another edition of COPE, Community's Own and Personal Elevation. We come to you from the Hard Rock Cafe on what is a lovely afternoon. And we do the program from here. And we try not to time them in many ways so that we can show them. People own do. Mobi own do. Really and truly own do. Now we still not go through it and hustle and bustle like ants and bees and all these things, you know. And we're still industrious and we still do what needs to be done. But boy, I tell you, you understand, along the perimeter there's a little bit of thing affecting us in so many ways that, you know, some people won't even readily admit. But what I want to talk to you about in the monologue, before I introduce my guest, is the state of entertainment. There doesn't seem to be much going on entertainment-wise in the friendly city. And I don't know what it is. I mean, this should be a place where we have daily, nightly, live shows for the general population and for visitors to be able to access. And I don't know what it is apart from a few major events. And I'm not even going to say there's only one major event on the landscape now, and that's Sumfest. The Jazz Festival seems to have died completely. And there's nothing else to replace it. What is going on? Have we lost our imagination and creativity to put these things in place? Where's the support? Corporate Jamaica, why you've always been involved in the rape of Montego Bay, but you do not support Montego Bay? You come down, when you come down to set up anything at Sam Sharp Square for promote, you bring MC, you bring music, you bring everything, and you want Montego Bay people to come out as patrons to come support it. And you know something, they do. And there's a certain level of mindlessness with that, because I'm not going to come out here and come support nothing and I'm going to buy your product. You don't support Mobi. You understand? So out of necessity we buy what we need to buy from you. But you see, as it relates to other things, we need to leave you alone. And the people them need to get together and take it seriously and say, wait, we don't see no support from the city. And Montego Bay has tremendous purchasing power. When a promoter put on an event from Montego Bay and him write a sponsor, since all of the head offices are in Kingston, you pay it scant regard. You understand? I remember, you know, I still know they support one event, you know, with whole heap of sponsorship called Teacher's Pet. And it turned up and blew up in the face and was a disgrace, you know. As a matter of fact, that many of you were involved in that. I feel they hide right now, you know. But we couldn't show you and keep on a name on it and show we say, yes, this is what you're all about. You don't have to run from it. And many things like that go down. The state of entertainment, woeful situation, many of you have caused it. We've sat back and watched you promote the worst of our music, the worst of the artists, them supporting some violence and some terrible nasty things. And only when the gay community turn against you, you decided, say, well, you wanted nothing to do with it. After you help destroy the landscape, what you need to step up and do something better. I would advise to build an entertainment, cultural development center in Montego Bay, where the young people them can be trained to develop their craft further. Them have the natural talent, but they need that kind of a institution to help with a formal development. You understand? If we had only done some of these things from earlier, the youth them wouldn't turn to crime and violence, you know. You understand? With a proper alternative, many of them with talent aplenty have withered on the vine of anonymity simply because they could not find their way out of what is a more or less lock and keyed or the gated community of Montego Bay when it comes to entertainment, because the entertainment business exists primarily in Kingston. So if you don't go to Kingston, you're not going to bust in the popular vernacular. As a matter of fact, I've always challenged some of my friends them in discussion and colleagues that there hasn't been one major artist that has bus out of Montego Bay primarily. And it's because the business is not here. We need to develop the business to the investors them that we have money investing in the business. You know, it is a lucrative industry. And if developed the right way, we can't be just BPO and car wash and hotels and them stuff there. Most of the musicians them are touring the world with the major artists them, and even in Kingston developing rhythm and kind of stuff. Them come from Montego Bay. It's also a shame. Look at boys' school. It's an institution. And people have to have big funds more time for boys' school. Boys' school shouldn't want nothing. Boys' school produce some of the finest musicians out of Jamaica. You understand? And it's a struggling place. Go around and go check it out. It needs further development. It needs expansion. It needs to be modernized. All these things we need to take care of. And if we don't take care of these things, what do you think is going to happen? We're not going to get no better, you know. We're only going to get worse, you know. The neglect of the population, the neglect of the people, the whole scale neglect, especially of the majority people. Right now, come and they bite us wicked, you know. And it's only going to get worse, man. I warn you, you know. You understand? I warn you again. You need to step up and do some things. There are people with the responsibility to do these things. Don't rest with me, I do not have the resources. I have a voice and I'm crying out for the people them and the youth them. And that's what I can do at the moment. The people with the resources need to do better. You cannot just rape, pillage and plunder Montego Bay and don't invest in it, don't put nothing in it. And when a man writes a letter from Montego Bay saying putting on an event that is worthwhile, you in Kingston, you know, give it no support whatsoever. You put up some like a fancy thing if you do respond. If you tell him, say, well, your budget shot or whatever it is, yet you can't find money to support any amount of foolishness. And then if you stop it, man, and support one of a friend them and do. And on a friend thing, look at the thing in a proper light, and if the thing is viable and serious, help to make it work, help to make it a better day. Coming to you live from Montego Bay, Warren again saying it. And I'm going to take a break before I introduce my guest and we start the show rolling. Stay tuned.
How about putting some added fun into your event without much added expense? The photo booth experience is a plus for your wedding, birthday party, graduation, any event for that matter. Unlimited photos, fun props, memory books, and so much more. Call 503-9523 for guaranteed fun and excitement. Guests and patrons will have a memorable time and get to take home a piece of that moment they will always be able to cherish. Call 503-9523 for more information and bookings. Capture the moment and extend the joys of living.
Welcome back to Cope. And I have with me today Mr. Dennis McKay, properly known as Macky Conscious, the conscious one. Yeah, man. And in cool, calm, and serene. And sometimes when I pitch certain things at him, you know, him pitch back at me in a more quiet type of way. I don't know if I age or mellow him or what it is, but or him just get largely philosophical and a lot more, what should I say, sane in terms of how he looks at things. Welcome, Macky Conscious.
Yes, sir, Warren.
Big up.
Every time.
What a go on?
Whole heap of things are going.
Talk to us.
Whole heap of things are going. You know, I was listening to you talking, and every single thing where you talk is really up my street. As much as I'm an entertainer, I write a lot of songs. I am from Montego Bay, still live in Montego Bay, fight the business. We get into promotion also to promote an event.
Yes.
Which is the same thing we are trying to get sponsorship. The event is what? Entertainers Against Crime and Violence. It is a free event.
Yes.
We want it to be free, not to make money.
Yes.
But to create back live entertainment for people of Montego Bay and a space for people who want to be a performer to perform.
And in a positive way.
And in a positive way, we try to bring out positive music because we believe that entertainment is one of the largest ways to solve crime. Because similar to singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, where them learn it in a jiffy. The songs that you sing, the lyrical contents of it that build the minds of the youth is the next thing to be mindful of. So if we can find a way of bringing in the positive context of a song into the minds of the people, we can create a different generation through music.
All right.
Because we'd agree that the generation slide through music.
In saying that, and you know, and many people, of course, would agree with you wholeheartedly. When you listen to the kind of music that is being played on radio, being played in the dances and the parties or whatever, does it jive with the reality of a conscious development of the young people, or do you see a lot of danger in what is now taking place? Because let me just be clear and put it on the table. There's a tremendous amount of violence coming out of the music.
Yeah.
Is that going to help us or hurt us further?
One of the things what I always like to highlight, them say, if you don't believe the Bible,
Yeah.
one scripture in it we believe.
Okay.
It's the love of money is the root of all evil. A lot of people do many things for the bottom line, money.
Money.
And people not even care about him neighbor or affect a next man or offend a next man or a next generation. All him care about is the money that him can achieve from it.
Yeah.
He come back to teach at school and go to school and then teach a youth for the money. Them not care for youth, them learn. Them not go the extra mile. The man on the street you walk every day and you not go the extra mile to edify and educate a little youth. If it's even to say, I want to be like him. So many people go along that line to the money, and when we are close the grill at night time, we say, boy, the same little youth them where we never go to way for edify and educate and try to curve them in another way. We say thief a come.
Yeah.
And them same
I'm where we are locked out when you close the
yeah.
door.
Them say when you send a youth to school, you alone can't teach your youth, because
No.
youth spend more time at school than them spend at home.
Yeah.
You and your lady influence is two people alone at home.
Yeah.
But when them go to school, it's 20 youth in the class.
Yeah.
That means them stand a chance of picking up 20 more influences to take home than what you are able to give them to take out. So it suits you best that when you go up on the street, you provide the rest of youth them out on the street with some influence. That them can carry go to school and influence your youth, and your youth get a good influence coming out. So the balance of life right now, a whole heap of people is all about making some money. And people kill you for money. People do anything, people kill their mother, their father, anything. And it's the same thing with the music. Man sing what I want to sing for boss, to make a name and to make some money. And the destruction what I do to the next generation. Them say, no matter how old you grow, and how much you're dead left, no matter how much money you have, if you don't make no contribution to the next generation, you technically die a papa. Because a whole heap of people are got dead. And nobody have nothing to say about them. Nothing to say when that man was around, he did make me do this. He did walk this way and me walk like him. He did say these things. No, because him said that me can use it as a role model. That they destroy the thing. We not left nothing for nobody else live by. The whole selfish means and personal gains. And when some people say them are fencing crime, some people say them are do things to the society, them are do them show, and the only thing them want out of it is not the effect or the impact what it can make on the society, but is what it can impact on them pocket. And all of that is temporary. Two things temporary, money and beauty.
That is quite a mouthful.
Yeah.
And I like that part that you say if a man trod earth and don't leave anything in terms of a legacy,
Yeah.
he died a papa.
Of course, man.
Him don't leave a good name, him don't leave something for young people to attach themselves to and say, well, okay, for further and positive development. How did we get here?
The whole thing, we used to have a time in Jamaica where people used to look out for one another. People used to, if you see a youth and do something, you can say, stop that.
Yeah.
But now if you even say stop that, him go and go tell him mother and him mother cussing.
Yeah.
So the whole thing where parenting now become you alone. And parenting not come a village no more.
How would the village to raise a child? The village has been desecrated.
Because you find say a lot of who are supposed to be parents never get any parenting in the first place. So the things start to slide. But we never like to give up on anything still.
Yeah.
Because I feel say there's hopes.
Let me see that, man. The Macky Conscious in you, ever conscious and ever hopeful.
Yeah, man.
Tell us a little bit. Let's go back. Tell us a little bit about Dennis McKay. Where you're from, how you came into the music and all of that kind of stuff. Give people a little history on you.
Dennis McKay is a birth name where I kind of forget sometimes. If you go on a stage and I never know, so I made him at all. Because Macky Conscious seemed to come take on a name. It was, I started out at Barracks Road Primary.
Yeah.
And I got one of the best schools in Mobile, where some people not even know about. St. James High,
Yes.
senior school at
Yes.
the time.
Yes.
But me going to senior school, God bless one of my brethren named Sagal. He died now in a car crash with somebody in Twinnibug.
Yes, yes.
Sagglehead was my mentor through school. Me and him together go to senior school and we say, them say senior school, it coming like it's a place and dump you because you feel common entrance, but we not dump. We are going to make a difference. We go there, we start study, we start put we head to we book, we take we lunch money and we do evening class. Then when we left St. James, aka senior school at the time, we go come college, me and him alone.
Yeah.
We do evening class, we get to all levels. When we go to them, say a secretarial course and put in, we say we're not busy, we don't want to get in.
Secretarial.
And fortunately, it worked wonders for me because
Teach you to
computer,
type and all
me
them
can
stuff.
type with my guide keys.
Yes.
Yeah, so in that regard, we go come college, we go do law, we do economics,
Yeah.
we do maths, couple A-level in that
Yeah.
line, just the same.
Yeah.
But other than that, as a youth, 10 years old, I used to go to the church.
Yeah.
And we used to play music. I used to play in our gospel band named Chop Gospel Band. I like a youth playing bass player and sing. Go to church through the years.
Which church was this?
What Bible church?
Okay, which one? The one at CLM
We
or
used to
one
go
at
to
Dome
the one
Street?
at Irwin.
Okay.
But my parents used to from Mount Salem, so we used to go to one from the
Okay.
gospel band named Chop Gospel Band, and that's when my musical career began.
Yes.
So I did learn, and I think it's specifically a talent. I don't even know I learned, but I know it, you know. So I learned to play quite a few instruments. Then I start playing music in the hotels, from hotel to hotel till I reach a Ocho. So my achievement basically is out of music.
Yeah.
But there came a time when I determined that I can't just sing Freddie McGregor and Barry Salmon and Frankie Paul tune.
Yeah.
Because me need to left something for somebody sing too.
Yes.
We are sing Bob Marley song. Who is going to sing mine?
Yeah.
And it's the thing come about when we start record, write song, whole heap of song that we can now walk into a hotel and hear a band and sing What If.
All right, see there. When did you record your first song? And what was the name of that song?
I recorded a song named Money and Power.
Yeah.
Before that I did a song I recorded at Ed Robinson studio. You know, my
Yeah.
first record I did Ed Robinson in a Farm Heights. That song name I don't remember the title of the song. I need to find it somewhere. It's a
Okay.
love song.
And you
love
released
song.
it?
That song wasn't released or
Okay.
anything, you know?
Ed did produce it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was him, Sagal, because Sagal did tell me, you know, he said he went to Kingston and realized that people in a town are necessarily more talented than me.
Yes.
But him going to prove to the world.
Yes.
Because there's so much talent in a Montego Bay, but it's just the name to say Kingston, and when you come from Kingston, you're somebody.
Yeah.
And if you come from Mobile, you can't make it.
But you know the funny thing about it, most of the artists, them, the biggest name artists them in Kingston, you know, didn't come from Kingston. Barris is not a Kingstonian. Freddie McGregor, who you mentioned, is not a Kingstonian.
Right.
And many others, Coco T, so many you can mention. Same Capleton.
And I think I had a conversation with a radio disc jock one time. We played my song on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
And when he played the song, he played a Bob Marley song first. I said, yeah, here's a Bob Marley, One Love. Then he played a Barry Salmon. Yeah, this one from Barris. And then he said, this is Macky Conscious from Montego Bay. So I had to call him and say, when you play a Bob Marley,
Yeah.
you play Bob Marley and Barris.
That's right.
Why Macky from Montego Bay?
Bay.
Just play a Macky.
Macky from the world.
And sometimes it's we who sometimes try to help
Yeah.
kill the one another.
Mm-hmm.
Because we probably need to start release ourselves off of the angle of a Montego Bay.
Yeah.
Because Jamaica is the bigger picture.
Of course.
Entertainer is the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So why do you need to play me and say Macky from Montego Bay? Just Macky Conscious. Make people... I am not ashamed of where I am from.
Yeah. But once he mentioned Montego Bay, him just put you in a one carton box.
Right.
And
Like-
put the limitation that surround you. And it has been happening for a long time.
And
There used to be music made,
Yeah.
you know, that used to play on Hot 102 and they had the Montego Bay segment.
Right.
And when you play it, when you hear the songs, and because they mention Montego Bay, it does sound like the song is of a particular quality
Right.
that don't measure up with Kingston. And sometimes your ears are full, you know, but already you've been prejudiced because the radio announcer said these are Montego Bay songs. So as a result of that now,
Yeah.
it impresses upon you
Yeah.
something that is not universal. It's not Kingston, which is can spread and go anywhere else, and it's not worldwide. It's Montego Bay. It's segmented.
Yeah.
It's limited,
Yeah.
and has that limitation imposed upon it by the disc jockeys. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the disc jockeys and their contribution to the development and the growth of the music or lack thereof.
You see, one of the things also with segmenting the music is when you think that you're doing good for someone, because it's like me doing a song and say, Warren, what you think about this?
Yeah.
See, if I tell you that, it puts you in a criticizing mode.
Yes, yes, it does.
Just like a man say, I'm more be an artist. Yeah, when me listen to him,
Yeah.
you need to listen to the music and let go the artist.
Yes.
Listen to the song and let go the place.
Yes.
So if we set up a one to criticize, they will criticize.
Yeah.
Hence when I do a song, I give a man a copy, I don't ask him how it sounds.
Yes.
You understand? So once you put a man in a frame of mind, they will always take it and act
Yeah,
on it. Ask
yeah.
a man in view and give you in view, and
Yeah.
you find some views to give you about it. So don't ask nobody nothing about your thing. So sometimes we need to educate your own self as people from down here. Radio this jack and all. Stop prejudice your own music by putting people in a position to start listening for a critique. Just let it go and let it roll. Make them listen to it and find the pleasure out of it.
That's a
what it is.
refreshing thought. That's
Yeah.
a refreshing thought. But what can be done to improve the entertainment landscape? Earlier on in the monologue, I mentioned the lack of live music. Apart from us taking place in the hotels, we don't have much of it out in the wider public where people can just go and attend. I have to make a note. I'm at the Hard Rock Cafe and they do a live
Yeah.
thing on Saturday that is open to the general public. Can come and take in a live band and something nice like that. But
see-
there's too few of that.
One of the things that is happening in and around Mobile, Montego Bay need to create their own industry. We don't look out for our own people. For example, a show, as I mentioned earlier on, come to Montego Bay. And if I were in charge of parish council, every time I give in permit, I go and ask how much people as entertainer from Montego Bay you're going to put on the bill
Yes,
and pay them.
yes.
Because you cannot have some youth to put on a bill and talk about them is curtain raiser and they can't even buy the shirt to come back to the next show.
Yeah.
Them can't elevate themselves because them have no money not even to go back to the studio after that to record something for themselves to look better and be better.
Yeah.
So you discourage the whole entertainment product in a West where people don't no longer want to become an artist because there's nowhere to play your craft. And you can only be seen as amateur.
Yeah.
And our same people in a Montego Bay that do these things and present these things don't look out for your very own. That's why we always have to be fighting for the people out of Montego Bay to put on your thing, and when them charge you, you can't deny it because it's only them. You create a star.
Yeah.
Tell me which organization in a Montego Bay or event producer or promoter that takes some artists and say, these people have talent. We are going to just throw them in the limelight. Give them an opportunity to shine. Then put them on the bill and put them before the crowd come, before the journalists come and before the people come.
Yeah.
You know, so make we know this one him have some talent. We are putting him in 1 o'clock whether them like it or not. Make him go swim.
And you know the funny thing about it?
Yeah.
I have gone to virtually every major event from Sunsplash, Sunfest, very few that I miss. And one of the things that I always decry, when they put the Mobile artists them in the Mobile early segment, when it's mostly the grass and the vendors them there. And in the night when them put on some other entertainers where them believe say well a star.
Yeah.
And them drop off of the stage or get swept off of the stage because they're not of the quality of many of the artists who passed on in the earlier period. It's a disservice.
So the people never hear.
Never got an opportunity to hear them.
I remember one of my performances at Sunfest. It was written in the Gleaner. But them asked why I perform so early. A journalist, I don't know. My set was early before people come. That's why I lost interest in even performing at Sunfest because I have it as a resume, yes.
Yes.
I performed on several reggae songfests. But what sense it make when you're putting out quality songs, quality tunes, and you're still only presented before the camera turn on? Where you go for the international space.
Yes.
So when the people of Western Jamaica that does things and events start to look out and create their own industry, you have an event, you know, use your audio system from here, now the workers from here or the helpers from here, you find them from elsewhere.
Yeah.
So how you build your own industry if none of the money is left in Montego Bay to rotate, that people can get paid and help others? You see, this no event in Mobile is a terrible thing, you know.
It's a terrible thing. Right now we only have some fests, and some fests have shifted from the Summer Fest production crew of Johnny Gozang. Now it's owned by Down Sound Entertainment.
Right.
And that is a different thing. There used to be a segment where they would put on the Mobile artists. After a while it became non-existent.
Yeah.
Know what is going to happen with that?
It come right back to the city fathers. What you do with your city and your people. You see, we talk about crime every day.
Yeah.
I record a song with a youth in a Canterbury. You know. He was a wanted man, a wicked song, you know.
Yeah.
Another youth who had some gun issues. A wicked song to this youth named Smokey. Him have a tune, Wicked Out of This World. The next youth named King Chavez. Wicked tune. Who could have get the opportunity for us like any big artist? But guess what? Where is the assistance? Where is the help? Where is the opportunity to say these youth are artists? Or where are the events to present them so they can feel like they can live by their craft or what they do best? We start a project. We start a show, Entertainers Against Crime and Violence. 65 artists on it. And we manage it that it lock off at 12 o'clock, and we try to find half of the bill is from Montego Bay. And good show. We send we're trying to start a project through the schools, because we believe if you can turn the minds of the youth from beginning, we call it nip it at the bud.
Yeah.
Our group, Entertain Against Crime and Violence, nip it at the bud, and we send out several letters to sponsorship and not even a reply. Still waiting on a reply from the Ministry of Education to assist us through the schools. A free concert, we are looking sponsorship to keep the concert free and bring a motivational speaker. Let us target the youth with a concert, 2.5 hours the most, motivational speaker into the hearts of the edge of the youth, and your parents are invited through all the schools around the world. You can't get sponsored, you know.
You wouldn't advocate the teaching of music in school, that every school should have a music department properly funded with a proper music teacher to teach the youngsters the music? What do you think about it?
Music is a fundamental thing that helps in concentration, and when a child plays music, your other elements of academics is developed, because music is dynamics, the coordination, and it triggers your brain to learn a lot more. So if schools have a budding entertainment department, you are likely to have students that are more academically inclined being a musician.
You know, it has been noised about, you know, the benefit of music, and scientists have adduced evidence to back that up, that it has tremendous benefits. And I cannot understand for the likes of me why there are only a few schools around with music programs.
Yeah.
There are only a handful of them. Recently a bank started at some type of music program, but even in that, it's a very piecemeal, arduous approach, because it's not looked at and say, well, all right, let us join forces with the Ministry of Education and then just roll that out so that most of the schools would have, and then the others would catch up. It's the same way with the internet and tablet program. Can you imagine in today's day and age, there are high schools, prominent high schools, that do not have full coverage of internet service, and they take away the kids' phones and take away their tablets and things like that and talk all kind of nonsense, instead of creating the environment and setting the rules and putting them in place to say, well, okay, you can use your tablet and use your phone at X period and for certain, and ensure that that is done. Instead, them take away the youth, them phone and lock it up and charge them money to get it back and all these kind of things. I cannot understand why we must continue this, what I consider a retrograde step. I have to give a big shout out as I'm sitting here to Herbert Morrison Technical, because Herbert Morrison, what they're doing over there is commendable. Even though the rollout of a tablet program targeted them, and they were given tablets, probably a few other schools were, which I find those things very, very bad. If you cannot afford to do the thing properly, nobody do it. You do one school here, you do one school there, and whatever, and at the end of the day, the program is scrapped. Don't want to take away too much from this, but the reason I'm giving the shout out to Herbert Morrison is their school is internet ready, and they allow the children responsible use of their cell phones to access the internet and to use it to help them to study, and they lay down the law.
It's one of the things, Warren, personally, one of the biggest way to waste time is, guilty of it sometimes, is WhatsApp.
Yeah, well.
Worse when in a 3 and 4 group with 100 messages. And when it come up, you really have to respond to all of them. And it wastes the time and it wastes a day. As it relates to the internet, we know it's 21st century and a way to go. But if a school can't control it, might as well do without it. Because a lot of youth waste time. I went to a school to have a talk with the youths. And trust me, in the middle of my conversation, as a youth there with a conversation on the phone with somebody else outside. And with the thing where everything in a space is able to send out of that space within a second or two. The most important thing, if you cannot control it, or find the means and way to control it. Because look, the education is key. I remember a youth was going to a certain school, and the rule was that your phone is banned out of school, and you were caught with a phone. And that time a BlackBerry had the eyepiece phone, and the girl basically fight the teacher to get back her phone. She was expelled. A year after that, BlackBerry is obsolete. So why you gonna lose your education for? Because all the big phone and hype phone, you see some youth go to school with some phone and me can't afford.
I understand
that. As long as they're not going to be a distraction, if the things them use and them use for the right purpose and the right country.
And that is why I mentioned Herbert Morrison, because Mr. Adams laid down the rule and it's being used in the context and in the right way. We're going to take a short break and then return. Cope Community's own and personal elevation. We're talking to Macky Conscious and we come to you from the Hard Rock Cafe. We're going to take a short break and then return. Please stay tuned for more.
Some businesses are the best kept secret in town, known only to a few friends and family. Advertising just can't be too much. Otherwise, Coca-Cola, KFC, and Burger King, all the big companies would cease to advertise. Instead, they advertise, and then advertise some more. Follow their good examples. And let CTV introduce you to affordable, effective advertisement. Don't delay. Call us today at 326-8747 or 396-6060. Advertise so they know. Advertise to grow.
Welcome back to Cope Community's own and personal elevation. We come to you from Hard Rock Cafe, and today we're talking to Macky Conscious, the conscious one. And Macky is a bit of a philosopher these days, I tell you, I know him a long time, I know Macky, years. And we watch Macky grow too, from musician to artist, and from artist to philosopher. And we like it because in many respects sometimes me and him exchanging views and whatever, and I say, well, Macky is so and so, and him chat back and say, Warren, look at it this way. And I take back and say, yeah, say I have a point or whatever. That's just the way, I tell you.
Like we say, happiness.
Each one teach one.
Different things to different people.
Yeah, man. And offering the different perspectives. And we love that. Now, we were talking earlier on about the kind of rigidity that some schools impose on young people in terms of even simple things like cell phone use. And I believe that can be controlled. and utilize in a more sensible, better way. Because I see the examples of it, and again I talk about Herbert Morrison.
But you see one thing, you know, Warren. A man can steal a cow and you send him to prison.
Yes.
And the next man steal a cow and don't deserve to go to prison. You do the same thing but with a different mindset.
Yes.
You have some school that you might be able to control it a certain way.
Yeah.
So you can't broad brush it across every school and everybody. Some people, once them get the cell phone, them are going to waste time. And some people, once them get the cell phone, them are going to put it to good use. So it is different situation. You
know what I put that to more than anything as leadership, you know.
Exactly.
I put it to leadership. The
That
principal
is
at
why.
that particular school lay down the law and set certain parameters that must be followed.
That is why we can't even too big up a one school who do it against one who don't do it. Because it could be proper leadership that cause the next school not to do it, you know. Because him know that if him ever allow the youth them to do like that, sometimes a different set of people go to a different school. You know? And if this man know that his leadership or this woman, my leadership would tell me that if I ever give them youth at this phone, I don't get nothing more to them for the day.
Yes.
So that technically might be another way of leadership. Some would leave it and say, let us assess it as we go into 21st century.
Yes.
Of a balance, because the world like a computer.
When we're done in the 21st century, I don't know.
We have to get with the time, but
Yes.
it's not everything that is good for one.
It's good for all.
Good for all. The important thing, as you rightfully say, leadership, assess
Yes.
it and make the best administration, administer the best thing to the youth, you know?
As we're talking about leadership and all of that,
Yeah.
you don't think one thing will be right now, as a cultural center, needs the input of the tourism minister, the minister of entertainment, to be like a facility to teach music and to develop the craft. The industry itself services the hotel, even though we're having some problems there with musicians, and the employment and how that too is changing. But the training and the development of people with latent talent, it needs that and need the outlet for expression and that. What would be your thoughts on that?
Let me show you something, Warren. If you check reggae music,
Yes.
it is something that comes from the beat of the heart, the root and the culture of the people.
Yes.
Check the people that dance, all of them music video, the Jamaican dancers and Hatfield and many of those dance people.
Yeah.
Them not going to school.
No.
There are certain things, Usain Bolt not going to a running institute for learn to run. We need to embrace the culture of Jamaica as raw, naked Jamaica talent. And we want to talk Patwa and I work. Is we want to behave how we behave. If you walk into a place in America, you're a man because a big old bother they know say a Jamaican come from. We behave certain way, we do certain things, and we need to start respect ourselves for the culture. Many tourists you see come here, they don't want no formality. A lot of the formality what we try to put in and place in our thing as it relates to Jamaica culture, left it raw.
Yeah.
Look at Muta, the biggest talk show host in Jamaica and the biggest radio disc jock is Muta Baruch and he don't talk English.
Yeah.
Why? It is the most copied radio program and rebroadcast radio program out of Jamaica. The one man per radio what talk pure pattern. He don't go to school to learn nothing.
Yeah man, Muta.
What that tell us about
No, what I want, and I understand that exactly what you're saying, and I will agree with you to a large extent.
Yeah.
What I am talking about though, in terms of training, is if a man has latent talent, for instance, he might take the guitar and strum 2 notes on it, but he might not be able to handle the more complex part of it. He would need a teacher to help him to develop his skills further to play that guitar much better.
That is to the years of who want to modernize it or purify it their way.
Yeah.
Jamaica have one raw, naked way. One of Bob Marley song, one of Bob Marley biggest song, the bass not tune, you know.
Yeah. Which one is that?
Stir It Up.
Stir It Up.
One of them song, one of the notes in it not tune. And because we got the school, too many of the cultural stuff.
Yeah.
We are trying to fine tune and tune it out of culture. That's why other people from foreign come take with thing and then practice and present it on a platter. And we lost that touch. Dinky Mini. All of them look at dance. Who teach them? No music cool over there, Jamaica.
No.
Nothing wrong for learn what you want to learn according to the English, modern English.
No,
just like the
I'm
language.
not even taking it there. But I'm talking about much of what we do is learn. And
Yeah.
if there's some way found to teach, because originally, you know, the person who had the idea and the creativity to spring forth a certain thing, they brought it forth in that raw form,
Right.
and it was acceptable. But in order to pass it on to someone else,
Yeah.
you have to teach it. And if you don't
You see,
teach it,
that's why the Bible gets so corrupt, because it going in too much different language. Everybody interprets it their way. Jamaica music,
we're gonna go there, Macky.
Jamaica culture must stay raw with
Yeah.
culture. You see all this book when they write patois book and translate.
Yes.
There's no translation for patois. Nobody enough to write a book or teach nobody nothing. Patois, feel it.
yeah.
Let go patois, make we talk, make we be. Make when we go somewhere and people hear me and see them talk, say, what go on, my brother? Them know say, yeah.
Yeah.
I see a little thing on YouTube the other day, a little man like him pushing some garbage in England.
Yes.
And him a talk patois.
Yes.
When the man, and from me hear the man talk, say, yeah man, I want to
You know, say
It
Englishman.
makes him different,
Yes.
outstanding.
You know, and the same thing that me and you, they're gonna tell you.
Yeah. Look,
Anyway.
look how outstanding. When me hear the part of the man who come out say man a Jamaica, when
Yes.
he come on a sweet
Yeah,
street
man,
in
yeah, man.
England, and a part where I'm talking, and him proud of what I'm doing, and him feel that yeah, me come from
And him well dressed to bush out.
What if you hear the man say, well, you know, I'm from Jamaica, I love that. We need to understand that we must embrace our culture as is a stop
Yes.
fancy thing. What makes Jamaican special is because we are different. There is nowhere in the world, anywhere you go, people want to be Jamaican. Then why we Jamaican if we want to be like something else or somebody else?
But even the negative parts of it don't Macky, because there's certain aspects of our culture, you know, very, and I wouldn't even say culture.
But
certain,
Jamaica culture, them parts they were out of, you know, say, even at the music. As since we start to embrace one next side of the music, why the music start gets around gun
and
lyrics.
violent and all them things.
When Bob Marley and Burning Spear and the whole of them are sing, and Peter Touch, the whole of the raw Jamaican cultural kind of music, no man never sing about no gun shot in a man's head.
Yeah.
A man for rob man, a man for broke now, because
Yeah.
we grew up on a foundation of love.
Yes.
Check Rasta. Rasta philosophy is, yes I am, love,
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
2 words, love and respect. And
Yeah.
that's one of the foundation of the culture.
Yeah.
And we start move away from the culture, and we start formalize it, and we start beat some hip hop mixed with the reggae music, and we have to start with our pants under we ask why.
Imagine that.
You understand me?
The formalization of the music and what you say, the insertion of other culture
Yes,
in it.
man.
What
Confuse
has
the
led to
thing.
profanity.
Yes.
I tell you people, there's so much for us to talk about as it
Look at
relates.
granny days. Just remember where granny come from, and granny never even go to school.
But yet she was a philosopher.
Ah.
Could teach you the words of wisdom, whether it's
man.
biblical or just from life experience.
Yes, man.
There's a lot to be said about that. The teaching of patois, there's a lot of noise being made now about formally teaching patois
Yeah.
in school and in various areas, while at the same time I decry the fact that newspapers are not written in patois. The news is not being read in patois on any basis that you can say, well, okay, this is the language of learning, this is the language of commerce, this is the language of all that it would require for you to function. How would the children function if they take onto the patois on a whole scale basis, and yet they aren't able to function properly in the society using just that?
We must learn English, Spanish, French, and all these other
Languages.
that qualifies you to interact with other spaces in the world.
Yes.
But when it comes to Jamaican, our patois, I feel it.
Yeah.
We're not even supposed to write it. We just know a part of it, culture, we talk it, we meet and we greet, and when people see we talk, they wonder, oh, what makes us different and what makes us special. We're giving away too much of us
Too much of us.
to other parts of the world, and then modify it and confuse it and send it back on us.
I'm going to switch a little bit and come back to you now and the music. What is happening with you and your career at this time? We know some places coming up. Any major shows? What are you doing now that we can say, well, okay, look out for this because Macky is involved?
Well, Macky Conscious, other than an entertainer, is a producer. I released an album called Leave the Crumbs Alone, which is my last album.
Yeah.
I'm working on an album right now to be released. I don't want to say much about it yet.
Yeah.
I do a couple of covers. I did a cover song. All I want to do is make love to you. That song's from out of the album. You will never find. I cover them songs. Still working on a couple of new materials. But recently, I did say I'm through with the festival thing.
Okay.
And a man from Kingston called me and said, Macky, write a song and put in a festival.
Yeah.
And I write a song with an intention for one reason. Not whether to win, lose or draw, but a song that can bring us back to the foundation of what festival used to be. I believe in the traditional festival beat. When you hear a beat, just like when you hear a Christmas carol,
you know it's a Christmas time.
You know when you hear, all to Jesus, you know, a church song.
Church time.
When you hear a song, you know, say,
the festival time.
Independence,
Yes,
festival.
festival
So I
time.
write a song on that beat. And I put in all the elements in it, just calling all of Jamaica.
Yes.
Make we come together and bring back the days of festival.
Yes.
But make we can say, make we use music to unify the people.
What is the name of the song?
It's called With Big All Around.
All right. It has been entered and it's making strides.
It's in the
The
top
video
10.
the video is made for it yet?
The video is gonna be a wicked video. You know what I ensure?
It's not done yet.
The video, we shot the video. It's being edited
Okay.
right now. And I call them to Mobi to shoot the video.
Yes.
Because there is a particular dance group in Mobile, Western dance group, wicked dance group.
Yes.
I grew up with that group in the hotel and I say,
Yes.
I want them in my video.
Yes.
Because I want to showcase real natural Jamaican talent. And then do a performance in the video. Performance out of this world. So the Mobile element is in the video, Sam Sharp Square and thing. And it's a wicked tune. And I ask all of Jamaica to make we bring back the culture. Whether I don't want to say me win or me lose.
Yes.
Just take the song and make it a most popular song in Jamaica.
I haven't heard the other 9 songs, but I can tell you here that I listen to it and I listen to it, and there's something in it that is just, you know, it bigger than what is happening right now.
Yeah.
And you know something, it's very inspiring, and I'm saying that to you because it has been some dark days, especially in Montego Bay, state of emergency and all them kind of stuff. You know, we kind of feel restricted, boxed in and all that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, that song has a whole lot of sunshine and a whole lot of love and a whole lot of hope and some positive things in it.
That is what I want again.
What inspired it?
I realized it come right back out of a discussion. I went to Sam Sharp Square. They had this thing on crime. And I went in there and I was talking to the authorities. And I tried to say to them, we can't just lock down Montego Bay that when police, the only time police go into a community is to look for gunman. Police can't go in and go keep a party. You can't make police and the people come together go keep a dance.
Yeah.
Make police know the people know police, and you be one big family.
Yeah.
Because all of we are people, you know.
Yeah.
What is sense every time you see police and soldier come, a gunman them a look for? Then why we can have a dance and everybody sit down together and drink some canned soup. Everybody sit down together and play some domino and people. Make the people them feel good with the police and police feel good with the people, and everybody have a relationship.
Yeah.
Because we supposed to police the country itself as people. Why we need police? We supposed to can as people. So the song came about now to say we want to want a situation where people and community vibration can start again, where we can, you know what, sound system in a Montego Bay lock up and pack up. And everywhere sound system lock up and pack up, nobody can sell no soup, nobody no vendor, no. You know what vendor try to do right now? Vendor have to start love crime, you know. I go to funeral them. Go line up at the church gate to sell to sweet
I want to
biscuit.
cemetery them.
Yeah. Go to cemetery. Oh, since when? All these vendors used to go to Pier 1, them used to go to Bottom Road, them used to go to and sell everywhere dance at the vendors are. Now the vendors have to take up the newspaper, listen to who dead and when is the next funeral. And go set up a shop at the church gate. Oh, we are going to live so. We want back entertainment in our community. It can happen. And when you hear about when you hear a man talk about Canterbury and Canterbury bad and Norwood bad, Norwood, sometimes are two people or three bad man. Why make it look like all of it? When me go to Kingston and the man will say, boy, I'm not afraid to come and mob you, me no car, boy.
Imagine that.
How much man a fire gun?
But imagine that, we used to say the same thing about Kingston.
You understand?
You know, and Kingston not change much, guys. Still bad and terrible out there, but them just know they try to put the thing on Moby and say, well.
The man, they make all away.
Yeah.
When sometime a three man in a one community are give like a trouble. And if people see them deal with them, talk to them in a different way, understand why not them head, who knows they may turn around and be something different. In I see them come with the same man and I say a gunman. Enough of them little youth a gunman. We can use them better. We have better word for some of them people, but if we don't come and try for sure, we isolate some youth and the only thing them start feel important in come on the front page because I'm most wanted. Why we can't be most wanted with a mic? Why we can't be a hot DJ?
What would you say to the young man, a young woman who wants to get into the business of entertainment?
Talent is key. And sometimes we know how to switch a talent. A youth come to me with some wicked tune what him can't sing. A youth named Ash Lavish. Him not a singer. You know what I do? Me make the music and say chant them. Wicked dub point. Not everybody go and be a singer. Suppose you hear the youth tune them. Him not have voice, but it's when the man chant the lyrics them with conviction as a dub point. Oh God, man, wicked tune.
I've heard of him. You can release some of these
now
things.
would the man come from? Now would
yeah, man, then not in a
the
city.
man sing a song said good people come from bad places.
Yes.
Me come from Norwood. Look, you know how much people in them community. But if them just get an opportunity to shine, we want the people them who invest in harnessing these talents and put them on the front line and get them on
that bring right back to what I'm talking about now, that avenue for further development, growth and development, so that them can take it to the world.
You see, a lot of people who get the job to do these things don't know nothing about it.
Imagine that.
Let us say argument, say a man in the government or the parish council or the council, you assign or the STC, you assign a man to go into this and look about social development with the youth. But them not come from there.
Yeah.
Them don't know how the youth them think.
Yeah.
Them don't find people in the communities who understand how the people think. How can you have a man, this a one minister of government did know his job one time.
Yeah.
It was Roger Clark.
Yes.
He was a farmer as Minister of Agriculture.
Yes.
He did have a Minister of thing that was a banker.
Yes.
Minister, you know.
Of finance.
You did have a Minister of crime who was a banker.
Yes.
Whole heap more things to solve the problem rests within the hands of the people.
True.
We need to start put the responsibility on the people who are from the communities and the people who know the people in the community. You can reverse a man talk process with a little talk.
Yeah.
Some man feel important with a gun because that make him important. We can choose what else make him important. We can bust him into a art to make him feel important with a mic.
Yeah.
We see some marching band thing go on. Make a youth feel more important. I go up a farm and hear a marching band and say, brother, oh my God, man. One little girl, me see little girl that spin some stick. I don't think she catch 10 yet. So why we don't make them people highlighted? They would rather feel better in a band than in a gang.
Yes. Yeah.
Where does a man feel a level of importance? You have to be in a gang. You have to be a gangster.
So you have to form some positive gangs. Musical gangs.
We want the people them check me.
Yes.
We know enough community, we know enough of them. Moby me born and grown. We go through from Rosehill to Salem to Canterbury, everywhere.
Yes.
Make we come together and start bring back entertainment in the community with the people. Make we harness the talent there. You too, go on you on your TV because you know this thing too.
So Macky, you know the funny thing, we probably have to make a minister of entertainment, you know. You know, if you deal with some of them things and take on the role and responsibility. I hope them watching, you know, and getting to understand, because one of the things that is happening, the lack of consultation with the people on the ground, touching base with the people on the ground to help to solve their own problem.
You understand what I mean? Just like that. I remember one time gone by, you know, them pick me chain on Hard Street. And I call on my friend and I say, you know, so I just get robbed hospital and grab my chain, so no worry. And she make 2 phone calls. And I get back my chain. Because who know in the community who are the chain grabbers.
Yeah.
So you grab a chain around there, so I see him where you have to administer crime with the people in the community. You can't just have police and soldiers running with gun. You will shoot the wrong man. Because not because you look like a criminal, you're a criminal. You can't look at people what they look like. I don't turn one day and see police and search people at random. And you can't see the people them then search. It's like you look away then search. Why? Then suppose me they just work for me car grease up on me and grease up and would I get searched. So we need to know who people are. Police can't know people from a distance. Go in there with the people. Stop going there alone if you look down criminal. Go in there if you have a social thing. And you can't have outside socialize with people. You want people who in there who is who. Where people will tell things that they believe in and say, you're not going to talk back and you're not going to this. Mobile is going to come back to be one of the greatest places in Jamaica again.
How you see that happening? How do you see that happening?
Time.
Yeah.
When the time is short, people are get wiser. People are realize that crime is not the order of the day. People need opportunity. People need work. People want opportunity. Don't give man money. Give man opportunity for making own money.
All right. You know, I want to talk to you a little bit too about EJA, because EJA is Entertainers Jamaica Association or Entertainers Association. It's EAJ or EJA? One of them.
One of them.
All right.
Entertainers of Jamaica Association.
So one of the things is a union to help to make a difference within the whole entertainment environment, because we're getting a lot of news that a lot of the work that used to be for local entertainers is now being taken up by people from all over. You have people from Dominican Republic, you have Cubans, you have all kind of people here, and in many respects they're not even bringing their own thing, but they come and co-opt the Jamaican entertainment and try to replicate it and pass it on to the visitors as their own or whatever. What role are you playing in the EJ?
Let me qualify this first. Entertainers of Jamaica Association is a new union, a new music union. We have JFM for many years, and I'm a member of JFM for many years as well, and likewise some of the musicians in the EJA. Over the years, JFM has done what it has done, and with what going on in the music industry, we need more associations to help maneuver and control the business. EJA came out with some members of the JFM. It's a broad scope of youth and elders, because you have to modernize the thing where you go. Whole heap of people with internet knowledge and focus on a different level, doing a similar thing in a different way. So hence there is no bad blood between JFM and EJA. It's just another music association to look about entertainment, right? I was asked to serve as a treasurer on it, and I'm a part of the executive body. What is happening right now in the music industry? I play for years on the music industry on the North Coast in the hotels. I watch the same group at about Western Dance Group, Hatfield Cultural Group, quite a few other dance groups, right? There's a particular company that I'm aware of that is in Jamaica, and obviously they are registered in Jamaica as a new company. Contracted entertainment. What were the names? So they are. Everybody knows that Jamaica talks with foreign investors. For me, I don't have a problem with foreign investors. What I have a problem with is when the thing balance. Right? We have to balance it. There is no way of foreign. According to them, they are not getting Jamaican dances. So things they are using foreign dances. For me, Jamaican dance companies and dancing expenses. But I think what happens is that some of the hotels, they contract them to provide entertainment the right through. So they are in charge of the entertainment. So hence doing that, they will be committed. Actually, their dance from the Dominican and Cuba, their commitment. If that's what they're going to do, so it's going to make it seem like a Jamaican product. But how do we feed the ports with another country in a Jamaica?
That if they wanted that, they would basically in Cuba or basically in the Dominican Republic.
You know, I mean, Macky and Saltfish and Fuji or Rosiam and whatever. It's right here in Jamaica. And if somebody else is presenting that right here, that don't really make sense.
So what would be nice if there can be some form of balance? Because when the monopoly exists, let's say they can afford to charge less money to provide the thing. The persons with the talent who cannot afford to charge less money on the journey, they get shafted, drop off, then the culture drop out. Then the Jamaican people cannot afford to work for that little. Then the Jamaican product start getting little. They start getting less in value. So it's only substandard Jamaican product when we present it. If the banks are targeting less spending than that, then we get 10 shows. That could get 10 shows and charge less. One to the one professional can be kind of to cheap.
Because the money get one show.
Right, you can't get in. You can't maintain. So that's why I say here.
Yeah.
Can't.
Or do something work.
Construction.
Or a few of them can do something work. We hope that that is not the case.
So it is important at this point to DJ. We think right now it would have been nice if DJ and Harmony, which is the company, can maintain a discussion as another union. But can come together and see how best we can ensure that the thing for Jamaica works. If it is a company, they probably need to register in the union as well, the music union, and the rules and regulations that govern the Jamaican music industry.
Should be at the table to them.
The current rates must be clear to say you can't. Even though they want to pay less, you can't get less because the rate is sometimes. Because sometimes it's taking cheap money, cheap out the product. Then the next one
And that's a form of unfair.
so if you think cheap out, so then what they must be away from the cheap, yeah? Because what the people is like the last, and when they used to be the work for us,
and you know, it's a very sad situation that we're seeing now. And what do you think government is doing or something where they don't need to get involved?
no, it must be a government thing. There is nothing in the country you can run the country. And the government must stand up for the people of its country and the culture that when we present. We don't know that when we present so we don't
But we get too much clout. If we don't create circles, on that note, you know, we can bring it to a close. But why you answer me when you just laugh at that?
well, it's a clown by the way. It's a put in the right place.
Can you imagine? Well, Macky Conscious, it has been wonderful having this chat with you this afternoon. And people have come to another dose of hope, community's own and personal education. Start today from Hard Rock Cafe, talking to Macky Conscious, talking about the whole gamut of entertainment. Virtually every aspect of it that we could cover within this short space of time. We thank you for the time. We thank you for tuning in. And we do wish you all the best. Macky, one love, you know. And we will chat again. And we will talk about that festivals and, you know, on the other side and see what happens. So we do a part two. Give up yourself, man. Respect, brother.
Some things were meant to be, so why not let it be? And stop worrying about it, long as we know